Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and this is the Zeta Zaku. And I like it. The other thing I did, other than get Sananju Stein while I was, trying to get my mind off of, my mom's health problems while she's in the hospital, was I managed to grind out the rest of the Zeta Zaku missions on Saturday night. So now I have a Zeta Gundam hat and a Zaku hat and the Zeta Zaku. And it's kind of pretty much exactly what you would expect. It is the Zeta Gundam with a silly head, but less so. The silly head, not less so, but the Zeta Gundam part is less so. It has the basic Zeta Gundam skill set when it's not in biosensor. It has the basic Zeta weapons, except, of course, for head Vulcans, because there are no head Vulcans on the Zaku head. But it is, oops, yeah. Also no biosensor, as you probably noticed right there. Biosensor apparently is stored in the head, I guess. And, of course, since the Zaku head is a bit too large for the compartment it would have to get stuffed into to transform into Wave Rider mode, you don't have that either. The other change that the Zeta Zaku makes is the downswing on the beam bayonet, which is kind of my favorite part of the Zeta, is reversed. The same way that they've reversed certain downswings like the Phileas Stream Garibaldi Beta compared to the regular Garibaldi. You'll probably see it in a minute, which is, yeah, that's it right there. It was the wide sweep, then the lunge, and I really kind of don't know how to feel about that. It's okay, but the thing that makes the Zeta so powerful, in my opinion, or at least so useful, is the fact that it steps into the wide sweep, which means that, you can, for one thing, you're kind of pushing forward with it, which hopefully gets you away from your allies if you need, and also just gives it the whole thing more range. But since you get the wide sweep, then the lunge, you kind of sweep in place and then lunge forward, which is, it's not useless, but it's not probably as useful as it could be. So, but still, people still do get surprised by the reach of that neutral, which is very, very useful. Less so, I think, in space than on the ground, but this was the only queue up, and I did okay, so that's where we're going with this. But yeah, I've got somebody trying to kill me here. It's a Thunderbolt Gundam. I'm pretty sure it and the Psycho Zaku are working together since they're using similar suits and similar color schemes. So I am also dead because I got surrounded by the two of them, and since it only has single dodge roll and no biosensor to boost stats or give a double dodge roll, not a lot I could do there. So yeah, I am trying to trying to get comfortable with this, and it's okay, but there are more options that no version of the Zeta Gundam has yet had that they could put on this version. Pardon me, a little bit of crud in my throat. The Zeta Gundam actually does have a heat rod style weapon. It works just like all the other ones. It wraps up a suit and shocks it, and it can be loaded in the wrist compartments instead of the grenades. I want to say it might actually have a birdlime launcher as well, but I can't guarantee that. That was a gimmick that most of the Zeta suits stopped using about halfway through the series. So, but yeah. Also, just to give it a little bit of a distinction from the general 600 Zeta, I feel like giving it the option to use the Hyper Mega Launcher would have been neat. But that's just me. It's perfectly fine as it is. It's just nothing outstanding. It's one of those things of, if it's like kind of the action, it's kind of like the ice cream maker guy action figure in the Star Wars line. You're not getting it because you need it, or your life or your collection will be all the worse without it, but you're kind of getting it because it's it's kind of a joke, and you want to own a representation of that joke. So, it's that kind of thing. But I always liked the Zeta Zaku. I liked that most of the extended MS in Action Zeta Gundam comes with a Zaku head to plant on it. That was always a nice touch. And just, well, the extended MS in Action Zeta Gundam is just a fantastic figure, but I've probably said that many times before. And also, if I didn't mention it this time, because I had to start over, because I had worse crud in my throat before, of course, there are no head Vulcans here either, because the Zaku does not have any. So that means that even, it's even got fewer features than a Zeta Gundam, just a Zeta Gundam that can't transform could be expected to have. So yeah, that's just a thing, but still fairly good at melee, still fairly agile. Does have Forced Injector 2 at least, which is a thing that I feel like when you're redirecting to make the most of that melee attack is something very useful to have. So, no harm there, just with Ambac and all, it's not as noticeable in space. Psycho Zaku did get me, but I think we're doing fairly well so far. 11,315 to 6160 with 1:45 left. And yeah, brain is just kind of, brain is braining, but, well, I'll just say one thing. One thing that sucks about having a pinched nerve is that coughing hurts all the way down to my wrist. That is great. But 90 seconds left. I'm about to jump back in and see what I can do. And yeah, it's I don't know what else to say about it, but that I do like it, and I'd love to get some more Zeta variants in here. Maybe they could give the grapple to like one of the Gundam Evolve Zeta Gundam variants, because I'd like to see those eventually. I always like those goofy things. But, especially since, there's an Amuro type there that's also the one, I believe, also seen in Green Divers that we don't have in the game yet. That would be a good one to add as well. But, what can I say? I like transforming robots. It's just a thing. Let's see, 30-some seconds left, and yeah, this is kind of funny to my perspective, because, yeah, this Full Armor Mark II goes into guard mode. You can see how little damage I'm doing, and I'm just kind of sitting here going, okay, I can do this all day, buddy. And then while I'm doing that, he waits very patiently for me to run out, and since I don't, just grabs me and tackles me, and I think ultimately my teammates do get him, but he really wrecks me in the meantime. Oh yeah, I think that's because his teammates were around to wreck me, so... Yeah, that's, I shot the Psycho Zaku a couple of times, and that's the most I'm going to accomplish at the end of that one. So yeah, just, the Zeta can melee combo for a very long time, so that is a very useful thing to have, but yeah, I did okay. I'm not sure, our Zero Shiki did really well. I did have her do 80,000 damage, get 5 kills and 3 deaths, so that's not terrible. And that is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2. We'll be back soon with more. Till next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later! If we want to do, goofy Zeta Gundam variants, we could do the early Double Zeta version where the cockpit hatch is stuck open and have it actually kill your pilot if somebody lands a shot there. I'd never use it in a serious fight, but again, I just think it would be funny.